up and personal. In your face. Are you ready to deal with the global object string? The string object, which is available globally within JavaScript. Let's get to it. Open up your favorite text editor right now. No, right now. Now. Okay, let's get to it. Whoa, really? Stay out the shot. Let's go on ahead. Welcome to Full Stack, and let's go on ahead and work with the global string object. Open up your text editor, please, so we can get started. Yes, it's the last video of the day. All right, so let's go on ahead, and we're going to open up two files. Let's actually create those bad boys. And let's see here. We are working with the string object. So let's go on ahead and create those. Minimize that. Create, let's see, string object .html. And what we're going to do is actually, do we need a CSS? Don't think there's much CSS going to be on this one. Let's go on ahead and create the string underscore object.js file. All right, we can open this up within live server. And let's get a little bit of output here. Just a bare bones. And we will add the actual JavaScript file. And we will add the actual source as to where the actual file is located, and it is in this directory, string object.object.js, and we'll defer that, in which that will just pretty much allow for the markup to actually load before the actual script file runs. And we're working with the string object, and as far as the output, let's go on ahead and let's do an H1 with an ID of output. Okay. And there's nothing there yet. Let's see here. What can we actually add? String output? String output. There we go. Let's refresh that. Good. And now don't tell anyone. We're going to add an inline style here. This will be our little secret between you and me, because normally we would add this within an actual CSS file, because those things, they get, pretty long in character. So let's see here. Style equals font family, and Arial will work. So that's a little softer on the eyes. All right, perfect. Now let's go on ahead and work with the actual string object. So first we have a DOM element. It has an ID of output, which I believe, yep, right there. Good. And what we can do here is first let's get access to that. So let L output equal document object dot, well, that's going to be the method. So we're going to use the get element by ID method using the ID of output. All right, and then we're going to create an actual string. All right, so it is going to be, we'll call it our string equals, and we'll say Mr. Full Stack. Perfect. All right, so let's go on ahead and let's see some output to the actual screen to the left. And the first thing is going to be, let's see, L output. All right, text content. And what are we going to do here? Well, let's look at our string, okay, and the actual length of it. And what do we get for the output? We get the output of 14. And if we go up here and count, we'll say, let's see, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so 14 characters, including the spaces, is the actual length. All right, so we will just put control comment that bad boy out, and you can keep it for your reference. And now you know that if you need to get the length of a string, that's all you got to do is use the dot string property. All right, let's go to, and actually let's see, what was that, length property? I was just gonna put it in the comment, so we'll say, all right, length property. All right, now let's go to a number of methods. Okay, and let's see, what can we do? We have our text, we have our string up above, and here's our L output.text content. We need that in order to actually, replace the actual string to the left. Okay, and we're going to use our string. Okay, our string is this right here, and let's use a method that's going to allow us to uppercase all of the letters, and there you go. All of the letters are now uppercase. So very good. You'll be able to use that. And let's go on ahead. Moving on, we'll use our string, and we'll use another method called toLowercase, which will lowercase everything. Good, good, good. All right, moving on. That's a pretty straightforward method there. All right, moving on. Let's use our string dot character at. All right, so let's say the number 4. Okay, and we get the letter F. So let's take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, here's the thing. I believe with the characters, it starts at 0. So 0. All right, so 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and just to test that, if we were to put 0 in here, that should be the first index of the actual string. So let's see here, and we get the M. All right, if we put 1, we should get R, and we get R to the left. So good, good, good. All right, so let's move on. Let's use another method. Okay, we're going to use our string. All right, index of. Oh, you're going to use this a lot. Index of, let's say, the letter F. And we're getting a 4. And so let's see, what is at index 4? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the letter, oh, wait a minute. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're getting a number 4. And it's saying 4 is the actual index number for the letter F, or the character F. And if I put an M in there, M, there we go. All right, I get 0. And if I put R, let's see, we get, okay, it's number 1, which is the second index. All right, so good, good, good. You're moving along here. Let's keep it going. We're on a roll. We are on a roll. Let's use our string. Okay, and last of. Okay, all right. What do we got? We have 2 L's in there. All right, I'm getting a number 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so this 7, the last L in the word full is the 7th, is the index of 7. And that's why we're getting 7. All right, so if I put a K here, which is this one here, let's see what we get on that bad boy. All right, so I put the K, we get a 13, and that works out because, the length, yes, the length of the string was 14, but when we're using index of, it's using an index, so that's starting at 0, which can be confusing sometimes. That's why you always want to kind of, print some things or write some things out to the screen and test these values. So if we start at M and we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that's the number that we have to the left. Very good, very good. All right, moving right along, we have our string dot substring. Okay, substring what? We're going to start at, it's going to take in, let's see, a start and an end. So we are going to use the number 4. Okay, so right now we're getting full stack, because if we just put in 4, we're going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from 4 all the way on, that's what we're getting returned. We're only getting the word full stack because the string is starting at 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 all the way on. Okay, now if I want to be more precise with this, I can say 4 and let's end it at 7. Okay, and now what I get is full. We started at 4. All right, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's start over. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. So what we're using here, and just to double check here, let's see here. If I want to get the actual full word of full, I'm just going to increase that by 8. All right. And there's the second L. So perfect. Perfect. All right. That'll work. That'll work. I think that is good. I like that. Let's see what we can do is actually we can keep going with this. Let's see here. Let's see, let's use, actually, let's go to the console. Let's go with the console with this. And what did I just do? Reload frame. Okay. All right. So what we're going to use is our string. Actually, we'll do it in the console. That's why I opened it. All right. So our string. Okay. When I enter that, you get Mr. Full Stack. Okay. Now let's take a look at this. If I go our string, okay, and I split this, okay, now what am I going to get here? All right, I'm splitting everything here. There's no space in between there. Okay, it's split, it's empty quotes, and I am closing that. Now what I'm getting returned is an actual array. All right, it's separated by commas. So now, and this is the crazy thing about, well, the crazy in a good way, is that now that the entire string is an array, I can expand off of that. I can say, wait a minute, if I'm going to return that, let's see if I can get the first index of that array. And there you go. We all know from working with arrays plenty of times already is that the first index of an array is 0. So now I can get the first letter M. All right, if I did the same thing and put a 1 here, I should get the R. So I put a 1, and we all know with arrays that the number 1 is usually, is always the second index in the actual array. Okay, so, or the second value, I should say. All right, and so that's very, very good. That's very, very useful, in which, you know, just adding more tools to our actual belt. All right, so that's using the actual split. And what would happen if I were to just do, let's see, if I did our string, but instead of no space, I put an actual space and close that. And now it's going to actually split. So this method is going to split the actual text that we have. It's going to take our string, and wherever their actual spaces occur, it's going to then split everything out and give you individual values for the actual array. So if we split that, looking at our string, Mr. Full Stack, all right, because Mr. with the dot, space, full, space, stack. So that's 3 things here, 3 values within the actual array that have been split. It returns that. And of course, if we wanted to expand off of that, we can of course get an individual index for that, just to get the word full. So now you can see how you can kind of break up an actual word, break up a string. Okay, so that is good. That's with the actual space. I like that. All right, and let's see here. What else can we use up here? This is split. Oh, here, let me comment this out here. All right, 13. Actually, let me comment all this out. Okay, string output, and let me add some spaces here and some spaces here. And then what we can do is do the our string and dot trim. And actually, we'll do that in the console. So our string dot trim without an e gives you the actual Mr. Full Stack with no spaces on the left or right. If I did it by itself, you can see the quotes and then the actual spaces. You can see the spaces right here, and you can see the spaces at the end. All right. In this case, we're using it with the trim. So let me backspace that, trim, and now all the spaces are gone. And why would you end up using that? Okay, let's say someone's using an actual form, and sometimes maybe their cat Whiskers walks across the keyboard while they happen to blink, and every time the person was blinking, the cat was stepping on the keyboard, pressing the space bar, and now they entered in a username with the actual characters or of the space of the actual spaces within the username. Or so that's one reason why you may want to strip the actual spaces. Horrible example, but you get the picture. And let's go on ahead and we'll do one last thing, but let's actually add that trim to our code here. We'll just comment it out so you have it for your reference. You can always play around with that later when you create yourself different strings, just to play around with these, because yeah, it's good to actually go line for line here, but you also want to say, you know what, let me just really focus and dial in and start playing around with some of this on my own outside of tutorials. Okay, you got to be able to say, okay, you did this tutorial, but you want to know it. You don't have to remember everything, but you pretty much need to know where to find it, or what's being actually what's being manipulated by which property and which particular method. So let's go on ahead and let's do one more thing. We're going to do our string. Okay, so there's our string, and let's replace. Okay, let's replace. And what are we going to replace? Let's replace the word string with the word superstring. Why not? Okay, and what do I get here? Our string, replace string with superstring. Okay, well, oh, I don't have string. That's within the DOM. There is no string. So let's go on ahead and try that again. Let's replace Mr. Oh, and actually there's spaces in this too. So let's see. Can I? Oh, well, I can get rid of it doing this. All right. And now that we have that, now I can oh, what am I doing here? There we go. So trim that and replace Mr. with superstring and press enter. And now we have superstring dot full stack. Okay, which you'll see down in the actual console there. So that's good. That's good. If we wanted to replace that with something else, you just actually say, okay, what do you want to replace and with what? Okay, so rewind this video, play it again, play it, pause it, play around. You're not going to break anything. And if you do, keep trying and then send me an actual message and we'll try to figure it out together. Okay, but other than that, subscribe to the actual channel. We're just playing around with a lot of JavaScript here, so you can actually add more JavaScript skills to your tool set. All right, always looking for that for your actual utility belt. Okay, the more you work with JavaScript, the better you're going to get. Nothing is hard. Everything is time consuming. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications. And of course, that is really it for today. All right. If you're stuck on something, send me an email and we'll work through it together. All right. Have a good day. Enjoy. Mr. Stack out.